that hand clap. Let me get 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 that hand clap.
And we're back here at the Brood War Finals. A great game number one. Effort crushing Bisu from start to finish. He was outmaneuvering him.
He truly was. You know, he baited him out with those Zerglings. It was a fantastic move. Bisu has to be careful about things like that. He shouldn't be expecting maybe Effort to make a mistake like leaving Lings that could just be killed off so simply with the Zealots.
It was actually pretty complicated what we saw there. Basically, Protoss in the very early game, and then we could talk about that game for hours, but let's just talk about the initial blow that Effort dealt to Bisu.
Yeah.
He had a handful of Lings going back and forth. Bisu always wants to, just like any good Protoss, try to push out, try to reduce the drone count back at home. Effort made a second group of Lings down at the bottom. He let the Zealots start to push down, and right when they got onto this bridge, he trapped them, taking out 4 Zealots. And that doesn't seem like a lot, except that the build Bisu was preparing for was a Zealot +1 attack with legs upgrade, comboed with Corsairs. Reducing that number allowed Hydras to have a better presence and lock him in. And from there, Effort just had a very good systematic game of staying ahead and ultimately crushing Bisu.
And like you were saying, Protoss in StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 is very different. They don't have something like a mothership core.
That's right.
There's not force fields. There's no huge defender's advantage early
Protoss is quite brittle against Zerg early on, if you're not ready.
Yes, so to lose any units early game against Zerg is really something you cannot afford as a Protoss player in StarCraft 1.
We're now moving on into game number 2. The map will be Gladiator 1.1. It is a 4-player map. Bisu, I will assume, is going to be fast expanding every game here.
Yeah, I would say so.
The question is, what kind of build is he going to elect within that fast expand build? There is a variety of different ways to approach this. There are also some crazy cheeses Protoss can do as well. Not sure if he's going to risk that. Bisu was never known as being a particularly cheesy or risk-taking Protoss. He just sort of played properly, outmaneuvered you, out-macroed you in one.
Yeah.
All right, guys, tell your friends to join us here. This is game number 2. Bisu against Effort on the map Gladiator 1.1 here at AfreecaTV.
I hope you guys can hear that.
I hope we got the audience mic'd up there. We had some cheers for both of the...
Like the ridiculous cheers.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Gives me chills.
The sound of Brood War.
That's right. Guys, if you're just now joining us, this is the Brood War Finals here, the Vant Brood War League. We have a full house here. It's completely packed. In fact, I believe the lobby is even flooded.
Yeah, it's too many people, actually.
It's, yeah, it is quite full in here. If you're not familiar with Brood War, don't worry. We are happy to hold your hand through this cast and make this accessible, digestible, and entertaining.
Indeed, and you know, to watch these two fantastic players, the greatest Protoss again of all time, going up against the greatest playing Zerg, who was the second best Zerg, is just like
only second to
what
Jaedong.
A treat. Yeah, and Jaedong's still a StarCraft 2 pro, so it's like, well, there you have it. And Effort showing us just how good he is, how smart he is, baiting those Zealots out, getting that victory, and never really losing control of that game.
Note the type of fast expand build we have here. He's not sending that probe out to scout. Instead, he's going to make his first structure, probably a gateway or a forge here.
Yeah.
And he will then scout right after that. And it looks like over here, gateway.
Gateway, okay.
Now, is he going to make a second gateway? Because there is a build you can do with this.
Well, the way he's leaving this probe there, maybe
he could be doing a double gate pressure. All right, so this is interesting. We can talk about this.
Yeah.
This is what we call an unorthodox fast expand.
Yes.
This is, all right, so little history lesson here. When StarCraft Brood War started out, Protosses would always 2-gate Zealot rush Zergs, right? Eventually, just like in any other RTS, people figured out how to hold off the rush. And then we went into fast gas builds, and then eventually people started fast expanding. And then Protosses eventually figured out, wait a minute, why don't we just make the 2-gateway rush at the entrance and make that a wall in?
Yeah.
And then we can expand behind that while still doing a 2-gate Zealot pressure. Oh my God, okay, so note this. He hit the drone.
Yeah, and he's looking for this. He's looking for this because he wants to block the hatchery.
Yeah, the quicker he can block the hatchery, the more he can delay. Ling's coming out of there, a sunken colony, which is basically like a spine crawler coming up. And is he going to get over there in time? He blocks it off. Beautifully done.
Wow, really great block right there. Oh, my God. If his Zealots get over there before this hatchery.
This rush is already effective.
And don't forget.
What?
The main base is lower than the natural, so if he gains control up there, he can always utilize that ramp to make the Zerglings have to go through a funnel. But right now we do have a lot of Zerglings coming out for effort. Couple Zealots going across the map right now.
He did not bring a probe with the Zealots. One probe plus the Zealots is a much better fight for Protoss to take.
Yeah.
Effort going to try to go around here. I think he knows what's going on quite clearly, and he's going to see these Lings. Oh my God, he gets a surround on that Zealot. He's got to move that up. And he's going to get between the gateways.
Oh, very nicely done.
Good job.
Couple probes coming out. Those are to actually help fight, as we were talking about before.
Oh, this is going to be weird.
2 Zealot hits and a probe hit, kills a Zergling. So
now Zerg wants to get the pylon if he can. No, he's going to back up because one Zealot's coming back here. This is a really tough tightrope walk for both sides. He's going to come down here. Now remember, probes when they're bunched up in Brood War are pretty scary. So there's going to be a lot of microing on all fronts here. The 3 probes. This is not uncommon with this rush.
Oh, and he's actually got a micro a little bit better than that. Really wasn't doing anything there for a moment.
The probes have become separated from the Zealots. He needs to get this other Zealot over here. He may have already taken too much damage.
More in a group. Yeah, this was some great micro by effort, whereas Bisu looked like he wasn't looking for a moment. It looks like his pylon is actually being attacked right now.
Oh my God, I think Effort's not going to take this game as well. He's unpowered the gateways.
That is such a big deal. And now that this hatchery is done, he has more production for these Zerglings.
At the bare minimum now, Protoss has to get this hatchery.
Yes.
He absolutely has to get this hatchery. Will he get it now? It's important he keeps the probes in the right spot.
Another Zealot is coming up
Drones
right
coming
now.
down here as well. He's going to rotate around. He's got to get the probes over here.
His probes are like way out of position here, like non-stop.
Oh,
he needs to get some hits in there, and it looks like some good micro.
He's actually starting to get some really good control here. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Now remember, guys, 2 Zealot hits plus 1 probe hit kills a Zergling. However, he does not have any anything else making, so you'd think it would only be a matter of time. He does lose that Zealot. Morlings are coming up here.
Yeah, the drone's helping out as well, adding that much-needed damage. Looks like he is trying to clean up these Zerglings, but
GG taps out. Whoa! What is happening? Nicely done. I like the strategy Bisu did. I know whenever I do it, I usually run into some of the same problems where I can get outmaneuvered. And it was a cool build, but clearly Effort is prepared and equipped to deal with it.
Yeah, really great play there by Effort, running those Lings by. You know, it was looking kind of okay for Bisu, and he was blocking that hatchery so much, but the fact that he got his pylon sniped and could not make any more Zealots.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had 2 more Zealots during that last
battle. He would have killed the hatchery.
He would have killed the hatchery and those 3 drones and all those Zerglings.
And here's what you want to do on that map. Because of the way the high ground and low ground is set up, you put the Zealots then over there on the ramp. In some cases, you can make 1 cannon there. That's debatable. But in other cases, you just make cannons back with your expansion, and you're in perfectly good shape to go on into the mid-game.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad choice of strategy for a map like that where the main base has a ramp going up into the natural, because high ground advantages are very, very different in StarCraft 1 than StarCraft 2. You get a 70% chance to hit whatever's on the high ground if you can see it.
Yeah, and so controlling high ground in Brood War is very important. You almost always never want to gauge anything that's on high ground.
No, you have to have unbelievably overwhelming force to fight against high ground.
Right.
Because it becomes almost a little bit luck-based. Like and there would be games, you know, where it's like, okay, you just miss like 10 shots in a row. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like you hit every shot like 10 shots in a row. It's like, oh, Well, that sucks, but normally you wouldn't even engage in a situation like that.
So the strength of that rush is the fact that you can actually get in there and kill the hatchery. Of course, delay it being planted, but the longer it's delayed, the less lings they have, the less static defense they'll have there to defend.
Yeah.
But Effort did identify that the gateways are isolated. The Zealots are required to rush. You can't sit back and make Zealots and just hold. And, I mean, you're just not in as good of a position for Zerg. So he went around, attacked the probes. That forced one Zealot to go back and help defend. And then while the rush was happening, he outmaneuvered that Zealot, got up there, got to the pylon. That was it.
It was a great snipe on that pylon. Effort is playing fantastically. Right now, he's beating Bisu basically with Zerglings.
Yeah, it's true. He's winning just within the first few minutes of the early game. He's outmaneuvering him. He's not even letting Bisu get to where Bisu's at his strongest.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're going to take a short break. I know that game was very, very quick. Yeah. But anyways, we'll be back in a few minutes to start game number 3 here in the Vant Brood War Finals.
바라만 본다면 세상은 바뀌지 않는다. 지금 당장 세이브 더 월드 힛. 지금 바로 다운로드 받으세요.
요즘 화장품 뭐가 좋지? 반트? 심플한데 스타일리시하네. 오, 베이비 CC 쿠션? 우와, 게리피티에도?
보여주기만 해도 사실 많은 친구들이 탔네.
너도 검색해봐. 반트 365.
전쟁. 전 세계가 극심한 혼란 속에 신음할 때 새로운 희망이 떠올랐다. 분쟁의 종지부를 찍고 전 세계 자유를 되찾기 위해 구성된 다국적 최정예 특수부대 오버워치. 군인, 과학자, 로봇, 모험가. 수십 년에 걸쳐 세계 평화를 지켜온 수호자들. 오버워치의 굳건한 부호 아래 세계는 시련을 극복했다. 비록 오늘날 오버워치의 활약은 끝이 났지만 이들이 지켜온 자유와 평등의 정신은 우리 가슴속에 영원토록 기억될 것이다.
완전 끝내준다. 형, 사운드 케이크 기억나? 막 미사일 쏟아내. 형은 누가 제일 좋아? 난 퓨저네이터. 아니지, 트레이서. 그래, 트레이서. 나 봐봐. 안녕 친구들, 해갈사가 왔어. 퓨퓨퓨퓨. 우와. 둠피스트의 건틀릿이다. 우와, 이걸로 빌딩도 부술 수 있다던데. 형, 기억나? 왜 윈스턴이랑 붙었을 때 있잖아. 윈스턴이 막 원시 주마.
야, 그게 언제적 얘기냐? 오버워치가 해치된 건 세상이 다 아는데 걔네 이제 절반은 용병이야.
치키.
박물관 구경 왔니? 자, 관람은 여기까지. 어서 숨어.
어서 가자.
여기 있었군.
저기 뭐 봐? 걱정 마 얘들아. 해결사가 왔잖아. 어이, 아저씨, 일어나. 안 돼. 좋았어.
여기 있어.
있지? 새로운 영웅은 언제나 환영이야. 진짜 끝내준다!
Welcome back to the Vant Brood War Finals. The first time in, what, maybe 6 years we've had a studio cast of a Brood War Finals. You can see the game is still alive and well.
Indeed, this is the biggest crowd that I've seen in this studio ever.
Ever, yeah.
Which is pretty insane. Definitely rivals all the GSL finals that we have here.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Right now, Effort is up 2-0 on Bisu. He's really been outplaying him flings. Bisu did a very aggressive build in the last game. 2 gates in front of his natural to try to do a Zealot rush to kill off the natural hatchery of Effort, but
outmaneuvered, outplayed, outsmarted.
Yeah. So that's a little bit rough. He's got to pull it together right now.
By the way, if you guys want to pick up Brood War, there are plenty of sites you can learn about it. TeamLiquid.net. You can download the MCA. I think it's MCA 64 launcher. Somebody could put this in the chat.
Yeah.
Get that launcher. There's the iCup server, the Fish server. Of course, you can still just play on Battle.net.
Indeed, and you know, it feels a lot different from, like, you'll understand how to micro basically and macro basically, but it feels a lot different than StarCraft 2.
Yeah, there's a lot. This game makes you do a lot more of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
It is the most mechanically demanding game of all time.
Indeed, it truly is. Nothing is really on the level of it.
Nothing comes close.
As far as mechanics go.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
And by the way, that's
to
not
play.
really a debated or disputed thing. That's just a fact. Anybody who's played this to a large extent knows that.
Yeah.
And these are the 2 best players right now in the world at it.
That's right.
Effort seeming to be a lot better than Bisu, but Bisu still has enough wiggle room to come back.
He certainly does.
It is a best of 5. Effort up 2 wins. Our next map is going to be Fighting Spirit, one of the more common Brood War maps nowadays. Certainly a map Bisu could engineer a comeback on.
Yeah, Fighting Spirit is going to remind you a lot more of StarCraft 2 maps. A lot easier to get 3 bases on.
That's right, and that's what we're going to need to see from Bisu here. Let's get hyped. Tell your friends to come join us here. Tasteless and Artosis bringing you Brood War. It is still here. It is alive and well at AfreecaTV.
People love their Brood War, Tasteless.
That's right, we do as well. In the upper right, in the yellow, Bisu. In the upper left, in the brown, our Zerg player. Effort.
All right, he's scouting directly towards Bisu, so that's nice.
How many times is this guy going to roll doubles with his Overlord scout? He's always going in the right direction.
Yeah.
We've had 3 4-player maps in a row, and every time Effort's happened to send that Overlord out there.
You know, definitely in my practicing days as a pro in this game, if I was practicing someone and they scouted me first like 3-4 times with their Overlord, I'd be like, no, this is bull. This is not
you are cheating.
realistic. Like, come on.
Note this map is rotationally symmetric, so he's going to find him as fast as humanly possible with this Overlord. Now, we'll see. I think due to the positioning here, there's a chance that Zerg could curb the Overlord's movement right when he sees the pylon to turn around, which will leave Bisu in the dark. Is he going to go left or down?
Looks like he'll be going down immediately.
Man, already a bad start here.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough for Bisu, but
There's too much RNG in this game.
there's almost none. Like the high ground is basically
It's basically it.
And we have had maps in the past that had RNG in them because of starting locations in different matchups. Like, do you remember Othello?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that map had RNG.
Note that he only touches the tip of the starting location when he comes out because he only needs to see creep there. Now, is he finally gonna see the Overlord? If Everett's playing the way I would assume he'd be playing, he might have a different way of seeing this. He might want to get in the main no matter what. Yeah, he's clearly not afraid of showing him where the starting location is.
Yep.
Hatchery starting down here on the low ground.
Of course, Bisu going to go straight up to where he knows the Zerg player is right now, seeing Effort's Overlord.
If we get into a long game, they should be both expanding southbound here. Top center base is pretty tricky to hold, but that would probably default to Zerg's possession, although it would be a very harassable location for Protoss by drop or by ground.
Yeah, it would be kind of a funny place. Like, there's a small ramp leading up to it that he'd have to go up, but I don't know if that's something that you wanna do as Zerg here. We'll have to see where he wants to take that third when it's time. But right now, it's time for him to get some gas, probably grab some Zerging speed going forward.
He's running up. He's going to send that first Zealot up there. He's going for some drone kills. Remember, 2 Zealot hits plus 1 probe hit kills a drone.
Yep.
And you can micro a lot more effectively with a Zealot against Lings here. There's a lot more room to maneuver around. And you can also abuse the back of the minerals. Nice, already doing that. That was already damaged earlier on by that worker, that probe. Not sure where that is now. Did he get that probe?
Yeah, he killed the probe. He drone drilled it to kill it, but it did some damage, which allowed him that drone kill.
Watch this. Right behind the minerals.
Yeah, that's
so an unfavorable position. So Zerg has this problem. He's going to keep pressuring with Zealots while he's expanding here. He might even want to go hug that mineral to the right of him. Okay, he's not going to do that. Lots of Lings being produced here. We should have the Forge, I think, almost done. Okay, very close to finishing. He needs to keep this pressure on. He's going to send these Zealots once again around and behind in these locations like that. So where these Lings can't get favorable surface area, it's pretty tough on the AI. And he's going to send that last Zealot back. Now, this is going to be a pretty close timing here. The cannon, I think, is starting right now. I think you just heard it begin there.
Well, he does have Zealots to hold that wall and poke out against those Lings a little bit, so I think he's going to be all right here.
Third base for Zerg, taken at the center left. I think a wiser location to expand to than something else like the top center. We also see some Zergs, I think it's less common at the higher levels, but try to take the natural of another starting location so they automatically get a main behind that.
Yeah, I think that would probably be his fourth base, is what he'd be going for with that.
Well, that and somebody like Bisu, who's got pretty good ground pressure, can start to really hurt you in moments like that. Now, I assume we're going to see a Stargate tech, but Bisu's already shown us he's willing to do a variety of different openers.
Yeah, you would think that. And, you know, what I really want to see is that Stargate tech and not just throwing away Zealots, you know, in the early game. But as we wait for the Cybernetics core to finish, we'll see where he goes next. That hasn't changed at least.
Yeah, that's still just like a StarCraft 2 cast. Yeah. So we have the Cybernetics core now. He's still pressuring. Again, this is really tricky to do. Lings with speed will swallow you up, but Zerg don't want to get too many of them.
Yeah, of course, you know, you don't have larva injects or anything. You just have the 3 larvae per hatchery, so you really have to be careful about how much you make of everything. And that's why Bisu does these pressure builds with these Zealots to try to force Lings out. But, of course, he can't be losing his Zealots this time.
All right, he started +1 air attack. And it's pretty crazy when you have just a few more Corsairs with +1 air attack, how fast you can take out Overlords.
Certainly, yeah. It's a huge upgrade because Corsairs fire so quickly. They have one of the highest rates of fire in StarCraft 1.
Yeah, very true. Hydralisk Den has started, no layer just yet. This is very, it's like your peanut butter and jelly of Zerg builds here against Protoss. He's just got 4 bases up, he's teching up. He's moving out with these Zealots. One Zealot not with the group.
Yeah, he's got to be careful about that. Gonna
nice
wiggle
control,
him out.
Though. Nice control.
Yeah, very well done.
Now this is going to trigger a lot more Lings to start coming out here.
By the way, that tree just walked behind, that gives high ground cover. Just
that does, yeah.
Just to let you know.
You can actually use trees to take cover here.
Siege his tanks under trees.
That is true. Yes, you did. Now he's coming out with these Zealots. Zerg is obviously going to be able to take care of this, but he's forced a lot of drones to not be made. Is this a wise decision? Should he have moved out? I mean, Bisu knows best, but I do have to wonder.
Yeah, I mean, he did force a lot of Lings, which is nice, right? And now he has the Corsairs out. I would say certainly he's in a better position than he was in game 1.
Well, here's why he did it. He's doing the tech I didn't think we were going to see this game. He's going Corsair Reaver.
That is going to be a lot of fun, guys. I'm sure that any StarCraft 2 people have heard people saying, why don't we just get the Reaver in StarCraft 2? Because it is a fantastic unit. It's so micro-heavy, and it costs money to actually shoot. You have to actually build Scarabs like Interceptors, kind of. But they go away. As soon as you shoot one, it's gone. You have to rebuild it.
Okay, so Corsair Reaver is going to be the name of the game. This is regarded as one of the harder things to pull off in Protoss versus Zerg. And it's been debated, actually, whether or not this is a proper way to play. Now, there's variations of this. There's ones where he just goes just Corsairs and just Reavers. There's ones where you make a bunch of gateways behind it, pump out Dragoons, and do a wonky Dragoon Reaver Corsair push. There's also ones where you there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can put probes and shuttles, take certain locations on the high ground, expand there, make cannons, and then switch back in a normal Protoss tech. But the tech that Zerg's going for right now, Mass Hydra, is viable against this.
Yeah, absolutely. If you spread them out a little bit. You know, the Scarabs that the Reaver shoots, they do a lot of damage, and it's splash damage. So that's something that gets to be very, very scary. If you're very clumped up as Zerg, the Corsair Reaver can crush you.
We also see Disruption Web, which is an ability that Corsairs can cast where an area of the ground cannot be attacked. Or you can't attack while you're in that, excuse me. Yeah, good correction there.
And it kind of screws up the AI as well. But here we go. We actually have a bust here at the front, taking out the first 2 cannons very quickly. These Zealots doing their best to push everything back as well. Looks like this Forge at least might die, but there's the Reaver. It's building a Scarab right now, and here it goes.
Boom, good connection.
Yep, very nice hit.
I think it would be unwise for Effort to pursue this any further. Note the distance the cannons have there. Staying back behind that Forge, it makes it a lot tougher for the Hydras to be effective. That was almost, I would say, greedy, but nice pickup. He's going to go for an assassination. He's going to try to get the Reaver, and a nice pickup again.
Beautiful micro there on that shuttle with that Reaver, and now it's time for him to move out.
All right, so he's reduced the Hydra count. You almost always get shuttle speed with this. And the fact that there were so many Hydras that were sacked over here at the entrance, he could do some pressure over here into the main. Corsair is now coming out. It's going to be a lot of surface area that Protoss is going to have to, Zerg is going to have to defend. But at the same time, if you lose this shuttle with this Reaver in it, oh my God.
Oh, the Hydras. Oh my God, he's threading the needle between these Hydras right now. Looks like he's heading down towards his third base. Only 2 Hydras there right now. Speed is done for this shuttle as well.
He's going to come in here now. I believe it's only 1 Reaver inside here. And he's going to already start to use this. He's got 2 Zealots over there, though, as well. Got to be careful. He's got to keep that alive.
He can't lose it. He can't lose it. All right, he does keep it alive just barely so. He's got to be so careful. Oh, man. And this was a good defense by Effort, I have to say.
Solid, yeah, very solid defense. I'm not sure if those Corsairs managed to get any more of those Overlords. We see Overlord speed's been upgraded. That doesn't mean there aren't stray Overlords everywhere. A lot harder to keep track of all of your Overlords and units in Brood War.
Yeah, and they do have speed now as well, so they're trying to get out of there. But, of course, as you said, with that +1 attack, it adds so much to the Corsair.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. And he's not going to switch into the Dragoon push. He's actually going to switch into proper Protoss, Zealots, Templars.
Yeah.
Dragoons are going to be probably the last unit he'll incorporate into this here.
He needs a bigger economy before he really starts going for Dragoons. Definitely needs to get a third base going.
Look at this. Now, this is something I haven't seen as much of, but it certainly is a good idea. If you have all the Overlords forced to be clumped up, you have Corsairs out with +1, I think a DT drop could prove to be pretty effective. Yeah. By the way, just like you see with Zerg, with Mutas, the Mutas clump up more. If there's 11 Mutas and 1 Overlord group together on the other side of the map, he can do that exact same thing here with the Corsairs, which is why they're stacked so heavily.
Yeah, he definitely wants to keep those together, have them all volley at the same time. Now, we do have a bunch of Zealots. It looks like they're going up here. I think he wants to go ahead and push these Hydras out. I think the Corsairs should be coming as well.
Nice connection there on those drones. Dropping a DT in here. This is a technical attack. He does find that DT in the main. The DT will go down. He was hoping to send that in as a second part of this attack. This is actually some of the best Corsair Reaver play I've seen.
Some great multitasking going on.
Counterattack Hydra over here in the front. I don't know if he's going to be prepared. He's pulling everything. He's sending Overlords and all of his Hydras up here as well. We may need to see probes used here to defend.
He's got to get something done here. He can't be going down to 2 bases and not getting some counter damage. Zealots coming out, just trying to slow him down for the time being.
He's going to have to get this back up and around over here. There is a Reaver out. He needs to be making those scarabs and making them quickly.
Oh man, the Hydra's rushing in. They want to kill this off. And it looks like it does get one scarab off, but then falls. The other Reaver does come home as well. He needs a good scarab here.
Nice
good
pickup.
that
Nice
shuttle.
pickups. He's still got this one Reaver back here. Not a ton over here to defend. I believe the expansion was coming up. There's a DT here in the main.
And it looks like Bisu might be able to hold this right now. Everything has to run away. This Reaver kind of stuck back there at the moment, but this DT, 10 kills. He's killed the third base. He's killed the extra macro hatchery, and everything is going fantastically. But it looks like Effort, in a last-ditch effort, is going to go ahead, get those Overlord drops, and go towards the main.
He's keeping the pressure on. He's getting lurkers out here now. Remember, Protoss was making shuttles and Reavers throughout this game. There might not be a lot of observers. If he can use drop, he may be able to get into the main where there is absolutely nothing to defend.
Oh, man.
Interrupt the mining. That would put them effectively on one base versus one base here. Effort is all in right now.
Okay, this Lurker drop plus a Hydralisk attack at the front looks like the order of the day. Zealot's running in right now, but does he actually even have an observer here? Oh, man.
I don't even know if he has an observatory. I don't know if I saw one.
So many probes just went down, Tasteless. That is a huge deal. Runs them out of there, and now his economy has been chopped in half.
Oh, he does have an observatory. Thank God. Okay. I was going to say that wouldn't make sense if he wouldn't have one right there. It's Zerg on one base, though. He's not even mining from the main. He is going to take that out, dropping Lurkers right over here. He's going to fight for these Reavers back. The observer's out.
With the Archon and all these Zealots coming down as well, it looks like Bisu is going to hold.
He just needs to get back into his main and quickly to try to get those probes mining again.
Well, he needs to clear these two Lurkers out first. He's bringing his Observer out, and as he kills this off, this leaves Effort sitting here on like one base, basically, and Bisu with some fantastic tech right now.
Drones now being transferred, but a two-base Zerg against a two-base Protoss. I don't like this situation very much for Effort. Also, the proper transition into Zealot, Archon, Templar, backed with Observers and Corsairs is going to give Effort a real run for his money. He's going to have a very difficult time trying to expand. Frankly, a very difficult time even holding off a huge attack from the Protoss. I think that this is almost checkmate.
No, this is just about, it looks like Effort moving out right now with the remainders of his army, but there's a lot of charge lots here chasing them back, and Archon coming up as well. Here down come the Corsairs. I don't think he's going to have enough here, Tasteless.
He's trying to kite them as much as he can. He's going to have to get back there, but it's not going to be enough. GG! Nicely done. Bisu wins game number 3 with some very sexy Corsair Reaver tech, transitioning into Zealot. DTs and then Zealot Archon.
I gotta say,
cool.
I really loved when Bisu ran his Zealots around the bottom part of the map and came up with them, with the Reaver and Dark Templar and with the Corsairs to hit that third base from an angle that Effort didn't expect. That really put him in a great spot.
And then he had that extra DT sent into the main. That got, I believe it was 13 or 14 kills.
Yeah, it did.
And Effort did not have to attack there. Effort could have gone on in the game and tried to stabilize, but instead he went for it all in. He was dropping in the main, even dropping on top of the expansion in the hopes that the Reavers couldn't get proper Scarab connections as effectively. And Bisu is at least beginning to engineer his comeback.
Indeed he is. Of course, guys, this is only a best of 5. That's the way that Brood War rolls. I've never even seen a best of 7 in Brood War. So right now, Effort still on match point. Bisu needs to win one more to bring it to game number 5.
Guys, tell your friends to tune in and join us here. We've had some fantastic games today, and we're not done yet. Great tech there. Bisu showing us that he's got a wide array of different builds that he's going to be using here today. It's not just going to be standard, Zealot with legs, Corsair, which he's primarily known for in the current meta for Brood War.
Well, he's got to bring out every single thing he can. This guy, Effort, knows the different ways that Bisu normally plays, so he's prepared for that, and Bisu is trying to mix it up. And after that strong victory, I think there's a good chance we're going to game 5.
The games today have been a lot of fun. I'm really excited for game number 4. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on with the Vant Brood War Finals, casted in English for you guys here at AfreecaTV.
to belong. Will you stay with me tonight? 'Cause I'm tired of saying goodbye. You're the truth I can't deny, and I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
바라만 본다면 세상은 바뀌지 않는다. 지금 당장 세이브 더 월드 힛. 지금 바로 다운로드 받으세요.
요즘 화장품 뭐가 좋지? 반트? 심플한데 스타일리시하네. 오, 베이비 CC 쿠션? 우와, 게리피티에도?
보여주기만 해도 사실 많은 친구들이 탔네.
너도 검색해봐. 반트 365.
We are hope.
We are honor.
We are courage.
We are justice.
We are compassion. We are determination.
We are harmony. We are Overwatch.
그렇다. 난 프로 방송인이다. 하지만 난 방송인이기 전에 프로게이머였다.
그걸 말리게 만들겠다는 거거든요. 나 벗고 만들자 이거 시위예요.
그러나 그 시절 나에겐 트라우마가 있었다. 혼돈이 거스에서 운명의 데스티니에 맞섰지만 무릎 꿇을 수밖에 없었던 그때 난 지금도 가끔 트라우마에 시달리고 있다. 어둠의 다크네스가 날 도와주지 않는다. 다 덤벼! 기적의 미라클을 보여주겠다!
도와주세요. 반트 365 홍진호 편.
그러니까 제가 발음이 너무 안 좋거든요. 그래서 반트 365 매장에 오면 뭔가 좀 해결될 수 있지 않을까. 그래서 왔거든요.
그럴 땐 역시 반트 365 치약.
야, 바람 나중에 갈게?
반트 365 치약의 놀라운 효과는 당신이 원래 발음이 나쁜지 양치하느라 발음이 나쁜지 전혀 알 수 없게 해준답니다. 당신의 탁월한 선택 반트 365.
복귀한 녀석이에요.
아쉽기 때문입니다. 아쉽기 때문이에요.
오신다 출신의 처음과 끝에 장시간에
이럴 수가 없습니다.
시작합니다.
Welcome back. We just saw a fantastic Protoss versus Zerg. Bisu outmaneuvering Effort in that last game. Perfect aggression, perfect defense.
Indeed, really well done. Some great micro there, and great tactical movement. Very, very happy with this series so far, I have to say.
Effort has been staying the same course in these games. Obviously, game number 2, it was quite short since it was the Ling run around, really a game of tactics that Effort won. But in game 1 and game 3, we do see that he's sticking with 3-base, 4-hatch, slow tech with Hydras. It's a very good all-encompassing build.
Yeah.
You can hold off the Corsairs if you do it right. You can hold off a mass zealot attack at the front if you do it right. You can put pressure if Protoss is too greedy. You can hold off Reavers.
It's
as
a bread and butter build.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of
It's
the big foundations of playing Zerg against Protoss. But next, we are going to go into Match Point, which is definitely a very different map.
Yes, it is. We'll talk more about that as the game starts up. Bisu, he needs to win this game and the next. Effort is 1 win away from becoming the Brood War champion.
Yeah, this is match point right now for Effort, just as last game was, but Bisu is not afraid of such things. This guy is a true champion. And, you know, I'm wanting a game 5, Tasteless. I know you want Effort to just close it out with a 4-pool,
No, I don't.
but I want a game 5. No, I don't. No, guys, really,
That's
I don't want that.
That's not true. Let's see what we got in store here coming from Bisu. Is Effort going to stay with this kind of tech? I mean, in a best of 5, a best of 7, you have more time to download your opponent. You have more time to do reads to see how he does his build and to make those adjustments. Bisu with 3 very different builds in all 3 games seems to slowly be leaning more and more towards a build that may be able to overcome Effort over and over. However, Effort is already in the lead. He just has to have one more solid game, and he's got this. I'm Tasteless. With me is Artosis. This is the Brood War Finals here at AfreecaTV.
Trying to find, break me down, replaces fear inside.
Look at that beautiful game lobby. Brings back so many memories.
Spamming, go, 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 go.
Yep.
1A, 2A, 3A. Introducing our players in this one-on-one map, our first 1v1 map we've had today. It is Bisu in the upper right. And in the bottom left, in the purple, Effort.
This could be our last game. So this could be your last chance to get your friends in here and even your enemies, because then you can be friends and bond over the magical beauty that is Brood War.
That's right. If we get enough support, if we get enough viewers,
who knows? Maybe we'll be able to do it again one day.
Maybe we could have this all the time, guys. Artosis, thank you so much for coming down here. I know you are deathly ill.
Sorry. I don't know why I woke up sick today. Probably because I knew the matches
Probably
would be
because this
so
game,
sick.
yeah, this game is so sick you got an infection.
Yeah.
We have maxed out our studio. It is completely full. If there's a fire in here, everybody's going to die.
That would suck.
It's totally, hopefully.
Who first? The people down there or us up here from smoke inhalation? Is the
Well,
question.
you know what's going to happen if there's a fire in here is that you and I will be like those guys that kept playing their instruments on the Titanic. We'll just like go down with the ship.
I'll cast us to the end.
I'll cast us to the bitter end.
Looks like Effort's trying to get out. Bisu's just killing his base. All right.
Sure is smoky in here.
Looks like a pool first here out of Effort. Bisu has gone ahead and scouted with just a pylon at his choke, so He might have been looking to possibly go for a Nexus first, but after seeing the spawning pool, will he throw up any sort of defense?
We have seen him rely on gateway openings, 1 gate or 2 gates. Bisu actually more known for his forge openings, but in some 4-player maps, depending on where you find them and the distance and a variety of other factors that involve the architecture of the map, you can do different builds. I believe in this case he is making a forge, so we're going to get to see a bit more traditional PvZ in Brood War.
Also, it's important to mix it up as a Protoss player. You can't, like, Protoss is... similarly in StarCraft 2, the race that you kind of have to be a little bit creative with. You have to mix it up. You know, that's something that didn't change with Protoss, even though Protoss in StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 played very differently.
That's very true. You know, in a TVZ, for instance, in Brood War, a lot of times Zerg can know what you're doing, and that's not really as important as how well mechanically you execute it. All the matchups operate in very different fashions. Some favor deception more than others. Others favor micro tactics. Others it's pure macro. And so we're seeing Bisu play Protoss as it's always had to be played throughout this series. Effort, definitely somebody who is... The Zerg in general is always trying to just read what the other player's doing, make a few small adjustments to maintain a lead.
Well, we do see the cannon coming up. He's not in any danger of taking any damage. Of course, Effort
this is great. Look at
has his base up, wants to take this hatchery.
So he's microing around. Now, you can micro a probe away from a Ling for a lot more time because of the fact that this is on a 2D grid instead of a 3D one. So pathfinding. So he's actually delaying this third hatch by a lot.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. Excuse me. Hope I'm not getting sick from Yortosis. Over here, we see this mineral patch on the right. There's a lot of really cool stuff because this game is 18 years old now. There's a lot of cool things they added into the maps. So, for instance, Protoss can wall off here and then mine those minerals out later and leave their base.
Yeah. That's like a pretty common thing on the later Brood War maps, is adding in things like that. Like, people had to figure out in the map editor how to do different things with Brood War because, again, the last balance patch that this game had was in 2001. So
yeah, and yet somehow we still have a remarkably close race distribution in every tournament. So, I mean, it's really kind of like a beautiful accident how balanced this game turned out to be.
Yeah.
And let's see now. The Cybernetics core is going to finish. This is a trademark statement here from Tasteosis.
Yeah.
Let's see what the tech is going to be.
Indeed. Do you think we're just going to see a Stargate again?
I think so. Yep, there it is. Doesn't mean we know what kind of Stargate build it's going to be.
Yeah, that's right. We do know it'll be Corsairs because no one really goes Scout.
There's only one build that I know of that I think anybody knows of in PvZ where you can make a Scout and you have to have close spawns by the main.
Yeah.
And it only works if you almost never use it because then you get in there, you kill off the Overlord right away and start shooting the drones.
Yeah, and you outrange at an angle from the spore. It's like so silly.
Yeah, but, it's pretty funny.
That's not something we're going to see here tonight.
No, I don't. I think that's more of a style points build. That's some Harlem Globetrotter stuff, and not actually what you use in a tournament match.
For sure. Well, the layer is completed here.
A little bit of a different build.
Getting that macro hatch right off the bat.
He got the macro hatch the other games before layer, correct?
I believe he did.
I believe so.
Yeah. Well, let's see what he's going to go ahead and tech to. Oh, Hydralisk Den.
And this is fine. It may be less Hydras here to defend, quicker Overlord speed.
Yeah, and that of course can help you out quite a bit. And it looks like directly into Templar tech, so could be getting some Dark Templars. You know, already effort is spread out on 3 bases, so it's not like that's a bad idea.
You pretty much always want to get 1 DT. There are some builds, I don't think we're going to see it on this map, where you try to push out and take a quicker third. Normally, Protoss want to try to power up. You don't want to let Zerg get too flexible, especially in the next few minutes here. They... you have to keep pressure on Zerg or they just get out of control. Same as StarCraft 2.
Another hatchery even going up right now for effort. So that is a lot of production that he's going to have available to him right now.
He may be trying to make sure that the Protoss cannot get a third base. I think Bisu is going to be forced to stay on gateways, get the Robo, tech up to everything else that he can possibly make in this game. Already out, Corsair is going to be chasing down these Overlords.
The Overlord at least did get to scout exactly what